Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Between episodes, I finished my leveling up with the Bomb Crags. I got Prince Ernie to level 13. I stopped there. I probably could have stopped earlier, but this next dungeon is kind of scary. Actually, the next few dungeons are kind of scary. This next dungeon, and then not the dungeon after it, but the third dungeon. So they kind of have some gimmicks to them. So that's why I just did a little over leveling there, because it was pretty easy to level. For the first few levels, first 2 levels, it was like 1 fight with the Bomb Crags to get a level. Then it was like 2 fights with the Bomb Crag. I'm at the point now where I'm at like 3 levels to get a Bomb Crag, so I stopped there. I probably could have stopped at level 11 and probably got through this next dungeon, but like I said, there's some status inflicting enemies here, some magic casting enemies, and I wanted to be, safe, since I was relatively leveling pretty quick there. So, one good thing is Tennison got both the outside and the return spell. Prince Ernie has the return spell. Outside takes you outside of a dungeon. Return moves you to any village that you've been with, so it's like a wing of the wyvern. So we are going to, I should have went to Noaniels. I went to the wrong thing. I was going to save the, refresh there, but go to the inn, but I didn't need to. So we're going to head to this underground cave here, to a subterranean lake. And we're going to try to find that elf princess and the human boy that she ran off with. So, see, unfortunately Indy got poisoned there. It's a good thing we had a bunch of those antidote herbs, because a lot of enemies can poison you. So, once again, there's going to be a lot of transitions, and like Dragon Quest II, when you make a transition between screens, that's when encounter rate shoots up really high, so you'll be noticing we're getting a lot of counters when we transition. So we're going to try to avoid as many transitions as possible. To the left there, that's a dead end. And the way you want to go is, the way forward is actually to the left of this next junction. But we can skip this section by going to the south. There's a roundabout way. And we want to go the roundabout way anyway, because there's some treasure. There's a treasure chest we want to get, so here's a new enemy, the vampire. They can be deadly because they can cast the Ice Bolt spell. It deals quite a bit of damage, even with the parry trick that we've been using. So they're, like I said, one of the... And usually tend to come in like large groups too, which makes them even worse. So, we will fight ice with fire. So, one thing that, speaking of spells, Prince Ernie got the Fireball spell, and Tennison got the Bang spell. The Bang spell is a little weaker than the Fireball spell, but it hits every single enemy, so it doesn't just target a group like the Fireball spell does. So, she got some good spells. She got like a weak single target Fire spell, Blaze, a weak single target Ice spell with Ice Bolt, and now she got a group targeting spell with Fireball, and an entire enemy group spell with Bang. So we're going to head down this way, and we're going to have a bunch of these short little passages, but they'll eventually lead to a staircase, the staircase that we want to get to. But we just took this little way to get to the treasure chest here. If we would have took that way that I said to go, we would eventually end up right in this room here, or not the next room, where there'll be a staircase going down, another one, and that's the one we want to go down to get to the end. Now, if you didn't want to level grind with those Bomb Crags, so you didn't have a wizard, this is a decent place to level up, because that square there in the center of that 5 square formation, that's a healing pond. It's basically like an inn. So I guess they realized this cave was pretty tough, so they gave you a little bit into the cave, a place where you can totally heal yourself up and heal your magic and your hit points. So These toadstools are annoying because they have a breath attack, a sweet breath attack, and that could put all your characters to sleep. And it seems to have a pretty good hit percentage, unlike the poison breath that a lot of the other things using, like this that poison, the poison worm we're using. The sleep breath, the sweet breath, seems to work pretty effectively. And if they appear in a large group, well, you'll be asleep, and if there's a bunch of those mushrooms, they can almost like kind of put you in a sleep loop. So, see, you just touch the center there, the screen flashes, and it's just like you stated in the end. So let's keep heading around here. This is an annoying floor because we have a lot of transition screens here. Especially if we're going to get all the treasure. So, to the left is where we want to go, but first we're going to head up here, because to the right and left we have two treasures. We got a lot life force nuts. You can use them to increase your maximum hit points between 4 and 6. Status seeds can do between 1 and 3. And I think there's going to be another status seed over here. Now, once again, we're not going to really use the seeds because until the very end, because that's when we get the. It doesn't matter about the levels, because like I said, the game, because of the class change, what happens when your class changes, your stats get cut in half, and you get put down to level 1 in your new class. Well, I guess in order to make you not super duper powerful, the game says if your stats are too high at a certain level, you won't gain stats in that thing. Otherwise, you can say like, build up a fighter who has really good agility, then change to another class, have a whole bunch of agility, then finish that new class you transfer to, then transfer back to a fighter again, and keep getting those high agility with the fighter, and you basically like max out your stats that way. So the game tries to prevent you from kind of doing that. So seeds ain't really good until you're basically done leveling. You're ready to fight the final boss. So once again, we'll probably put them in the vault. So we had a new moth there, a man-eater moth. So they hit really, really hard. They can be annoying because they can run away from you. So that one ran away, so that's why I didn't put its stats up. But they'll come in big groups, and when I actually defeat one, then I'll throw the stats up on screen for you to look at. So we're almost through this dungeon here. We have 3 more chests to go. 4. One's the item that we need to progress though. So we got some money here. And then there's 2 chests in these little hidden alcoves here. There's also the staircase to go down. So we have more of those man-eater moths. So we'll actually take care of some of them this time. Another one of those annoying vampires who have a tough thing. We'll see Tennison's bang spell get put to use here. So as you'll see, it'll be able to hit everybody. It'll hit the solo moth, then the group moths, and then the vampire. So it's a good spell now. So there's the moth there. Like that other moth, they can cast the surround spell, which decreases your accuracy. And they can also poison you when they hit you. And they call for help, and if they call for help, another one of those moths will appear. I actually think in the next battle, I actually get into one with moths, and the one actually calls another moth to help, so. Got some more gold. And then this middle one is where we want to head into, but before we head down those steps, that's where we want to approach from the bottom, because if you went from the top, you would go right up those steps, and you'd miss seeing that there's a treasure chest here. So, unfortunately, we don't have enough inventory for the fairy water, which just basically prevents weaker enemies from attacking you, so we just gave it up. And even if you end up using, like, I use an item here the chest will still remain empty. So it's like you just gave it. It's not like you just left it there. And you're like, oh, I'll come back and pick it up later. No. So we're almost out of here. Indy, I've moved Indy up to because of the just how deadly this place can be, and being Prince Ernie being our only healer with magic. I moved Indy up a slot because Indy has a lot of hit points now, and just to make Prince Ernie a little bit safer. So we found a dream movie. Forgive me, Mother, for departing this world ahead of you. If my love for him, that of an elf for a human, is forbidden in this world, at least I can be with him in the one beyond. That was from the elf princess, because her name was Anna. So, well, it's bad news. I guess we're going to have to report it to the elf queen here. She's not going to be too happy, obviously, but she will see the error of her ways. And while she won't come to accept humans, she'll at least give us an item to wake up all the villagers in Noaniels that she coaxed to that, like, sleep. Is that what you carried, the dream mood, by any chance? What? Are you saying that Anne and that man cast themselves in the underground lake? Oh, why was I so hard on them? What am I to do? Now I see. Here, take this wake-up powder with you and go back to the village. Then you will remove the curse. Anne would want it that way. Oh, Anne, forgive your mother. It doesn't mean I like humans. Go now. And the elves still have the same dialogue, but this man, his dialogue changed. Remember, he was the father of the boy who eloped with that elf princess. So now we can return to Noaniels there, and you just use your the wake up powder like a regular item. I'm going to drop those seeds off here first, clear some inventory space because there's a few items we're going to buy. There's the 2 good pieces of armor that we're going to want to buy. For Tennison and then also for Indy. Now, 2 future towns we can get another piece of armor that has better defensive stats for Indy, but we're going to want to keep this armor basically that we're going to get for her because it has a special property. So, yeah, some armors have special properties with them, so that those properties may outweigh the increased defensive capabilities. The armor that we're going to get in Noaniels is the Cloak of Evasion, and with that it basically gives your character, if they're targeted by a physical attack, 20% chance to dodge that physical attack. So it makes them harder to hit, makes them basically able to evade attacks easier. So that's another reason why we could put Indy up front, closer to the front, because she'll take more attacks, and more of those attacks right now are going to be physical. Even though some enemies are using magic, the majority of enemies are still going to be using physical attacks, so she'll have that cloak to avoid 1/5 of those attacks. We'll pick up another, we'll need another one of those antidote herbs, because we remember we used one. And we can sell the one magic knife that we picked up. Since we'll be just using the warp, we can also sell sell the armor that our characters have. We'll just transfer the items to one character, because well, it's 2 characters, so then they can just sell them right then and there. Otherwise, once you finish selling with one character, they'll ask you, do you have anything more to sell? And if you say no, then you gotta reselect the menu again to go to a new character. So, trying to have as least amount of characters carrying stuff to sell. Just speeds things up a little bit. We're looking pretty good on gold here. There are going to be some, besides these purchases, I'm eventually going to get some better weapons for Prince Ernie and Sadie. Like I said, the good thing is we're getting the armor next. We have another dungeon to go through before we get to the next town. Now, you can go to the next town. Like I said, you just skip these 2 dungeons. The underground cave there, and the Tower of Champagne, which is our next dungeon, to go look for that candor. But, like I said, it's good to go to these dungeons because, like I said, I'm 100% in the game, and I want to show off all the stuff, so... So we use the wake-up powder in the village, all the people will wake up, and now we can talk with them and get some clues about where we're supposed to go. They just point you in the direction of the next key, the magic key that we're going to need. Like I said, if you know where to go, you can skip this whole little sub-quest. Because you already know where to go to get the magic key. So, to the south, to basically the dungeon, like the Egypt land, the pyramids. Fine sleep. How many years have I slept, I wonder? You were sleeping for years? Thank you very much. If you have spider's web, you can slow the monsters down. Shop deals on tools. What can we do for you? There was the thing, the Cloak of Evasion. We can buy a wizard's wand there. If you use that in battle, it's like the wizard's wand in Dragon Quest II. It'll cast like a blaze spell. So you can technically maybe get it for your wizard if you want. They can use the item in battle, deal some extra damage, but we'll just go with that chance with the poison needle. So, I will need to stay here though. Did you hear me snore in our sleep? No. You must have had a sound sleep then. And if you say that we did hear her, she's embarrassed. We'll have to get some sleep because I just noticed that I didn't have enough magic points to cast another return spell to get back to Romley where we'll save our game. Are the son of the brave hero Ortega? No. Oh, I thought you were somebody else. Well, we must be the... Well, we are the son of Ortega, we learned that. But I thought it was only yesterday that Ortega was in the room next door. He must have headed to Ashram in search of the key. But it is hard to believe so many years have gone since he was here, so... Yeah, they must have been sleeping for quite a few years, really. Oh, Ortega, you're gone forever, sob, sob. So it looks like Ortega was in search of a magic key, and he went to the land of Ashram. That's telling us where we have to go. Like I said, we're gonna go hunt down that thief Candor first. Get that crown. And you can actually keep the crown. If you turn it back into the king, he makes you king. Then you can give the crown back to him and say you don't want to be king. But you can keep the crown, and it's a really good piece of headgear for wizards. Until you can find a headgear drop, because wizards can't really equip a lot of items, including headgear. Basically, they only have the leather hat. Is the only thing they can equip that you can buy in a store. And, you know, it's pretty weak, so crown is much better. So I'll decide whether I keep the crown for a while or just decide to show off to turn it in real quick. But let's just equip. Speaking of equipping, let's equip those cloaks of evasions that we got. Like I said, it has a 20% chance to allow us to avoid a physical attack. So that'll definitely help a lot. And it has a decent defensive power too. It's better than anything else defensively that Indian Tennison can equip. We'll just save our game right here, and then we will head up to Nave to go to the west and find that Tower of Champagne where apparently Candor is hanging out with the King's Crown. So take care, thanks for following along, and I'll see you next episode where we go hunting for the thief. Take care, bye.